how are you? Hey, friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Shenador Briscoe, coming to you from right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey, you know what? Today is Thursday, December the 16th, 2021. Got a happy birthday shout out going out to Kay Bizelli. And so, without further ado, hey, Kay. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. So, happy birthday, I'm say. That's 1 more year older today. So, a happy birthday to you, I say. I said, hey, Kay. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. Why, that's another trip around the sun that you made. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday day. I said, it's your happy birthday day today. All right, and how about them Shin Show likes and fans out there? Those are the fans that like, love, and are just hopeful and happy Shin Show fans. We got Doug Bell, Leony, Pedraza, Fernandez, Dave Bell, Martin, Kelly, Bev Evans, Jamie O'Driscoll, Whitney Doe. Sorry, that's Whitney Doe. Ashley, Nichole. Oh, and Whoa Garden from yesterday's chat. And then Lori Moore, which is Lauren, whatever her new married name is. Don't know for sure. Anyway, I know her as Lori Moore from. I took her to the prom whenever I went to the prom way back when. Way back when. It's too far back to remember. I remember when. It was way back then. I remember now, or then again. I remember when. All right, yes, sir, Bob. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump on that weather forecast for you today. And the weather forecast for you is going to be brought to you today by Refreshing Word Fellowship Church. Refreshing Word Fellowship Church is a non-denominational Christian church here in St. Charles, Missouri, which is located at 2054 Campus Drive, St. Charles, Missouri, 63301. Pastored by ordained Pastor John Schumer and the Associate Pastor Nathan Moffett. Yes, that's right. If you'd like to contact them by telephone, 636-333-0594 or at refreshingwf at gmail.com. That would be Refreshing Word Fellowship Church. All right. Well, alrighty then. Come on, all, at 11 a.m. on Sundays for our Sunday services, and for our Thursdays, an hour of our prayer from 1:30 to 2:30. Hey, you know what? We need a piano player. We just got us a piano today. They brought it in to us and said, hey, look at what we have here. So we got a brand new piano. Anybody know how to play piano and you'd like to come to a nice, fine little church? Well, come on over to Refreshing Word Fellowship Church and we'll hook you up. I got a sneeze coming on, folks. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to blow out your eardrums with that heavy snort of a sneeze. But there it was, if you please. Anyway, I'm telling you, my chair's just going wild. Anyway, here's that weather forecast for you. For the remainder of the day, 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Clear to partly cloudy skies with low temperatures around 30 degrees Fahrenheit with winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then as far as Friday, December the 17th, cloudy with occasional rain in the afternoon. High temperatures of 44 degrees Fahrenheit, winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of rain 60%. Rain with low temperatures of 36 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. East to northeast winds shifting to northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chances of rain 90%. Rainfall going to be adding up to around a half an inch. And then for Saturday, December the 18th, considerable cloudiness with high temperatures of 44 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles a hour. 10 to 20 miles an hour. Or 10 to 20 miles an hour as they clear and partly cloudy afternoon, evening time with low temperatures of 23 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. And then comes winds are going to be north to northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for Sunday, December the 19th, Sunday, be there at the church. Mostly sunny skies, high temperatures of 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be light and variable. Clear skies overnight with low temperatures of 24 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be light and variable. And then for Monday, December the 20th, abundant sunshine with high temperatures around 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be south to southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And a mostly clear sky overnight with low temperatures of 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be light variable. And then for our final, fifth and final day of our 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area, Tuesday, December the 21st. Mostly sunny skies with high temperatures around 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be light and variable, and mostly clear skies throughout the day with throughout the night with low temperatures of 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be south to southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And that, my friends, is your 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area. Bum, shaboom, shaboom, shadaboom, sha. All right, still nobody. Ain't got nobody to go on. Nobody. Oh, nobody. Hey, I got a call coming in. Don't know who. Hello, you're on the air. This here's Shenandoah Briscoe. Can I help you? This is the Shen Show. You are live on the Shen Show. This is Lisa Foster calling in. She's got a call in, folks. What's going on? No more howling winds. Hallelujah. Okay, what is today's song? What is your song request for today's show? Something country. I can pick it. All right, we'll pick her up. Christmas country song. Okay, I can come up with something like that. Sure enough. All right, we got Lisa Foster has got her song request in. Something country and Christmas. We can handle it. We'll do it. Thank you, Lisa, for the call in. God bless you too. Bye-bye. Go to sleep. All right, here we go. We're back at it. We're getting ready to do our things that are events that are coming up. And today's events are going to be brought to you by Jamie O'Driscoll. Yep, Jamie O'Driscoll's got seasonal wreaths by Jamie. That's right. We've got the holidays coming up, and well, I tell you what, friends, there ain't no better way to decorate your house than to go on the seasonal wreaths by Jamie and take a peruse on her page. See what sort of beautiful, beautiful things she can come up with. That's right. Seasonal wreaths by Jamie is always available on Facebook. Go on over there, peruse her page, pick out something, and if you got something real special coming up, like a wedding or a rehearsal dinner or something like that, you'd just like to have some sort of decorations for the table, well, by golly, she can do that too. She's quite the crafty gal. So check out Seasonal Wreaths by Jimmy. Send her a message on her Facebook page, and she'll get back to you just as soon as she can. Alrighty then. Here are those events. Ha ha ha. Oh, whoops. What happened? What happened? That's not fair. I've messed myself up now. Here I am. Here I am. Oh, here I am. Well, all right. We'll just go down here and pick it back up. Piggy back up. Well, what we're going to advertise today is Christmas traditions. Christmas traditions is located down on Main Street here in St. Charles, Missouri, at 200 in the 200 block of Main Street is where you'll pick up the old carriage ride with my son and ride that carriage on down the old clip-clop streets of the old brick roads. Yeah, the old brick roads of St. Charles Main Street. Yes, sir. St. Charles is a down homey little poetic, even older than what's his goof? That guy that used to make the paintings. He always had them calendars, Norman Rockwell. It's even older looking than Norman Rockwell because, well, we've been around since the 1820s. So we were the first state capital, 1821 to 1826. So, Anyway, why don't you come on down to Christmas traditions? The celebration is staged in a charming village on the Missouri River known as the St. Charles, Missouri. Close your eyes and listen to the sounds of the horses' hooves on the brick streets and the sweet holiday music of the fife. Capture in your mind the mind of the essence of a time in America when life was simpler and Christmas was elegant and magical. Regardless of the evening or weekend that you choose to visit Christmas traditions, we promise that you will find genuine, warm relationships, uh, warm traditions of a St. Charles more welcoming. So the hospitality of Christmas traditions is only exceeded by the very magical spirit of Christmas itself. So anyway, come on down on Wednesdays and Fridays from 6 to 9 p.m. From for Saturdays, 12 to 9 p.m. and Sundays 12 to 5 p.m. Except for December the 24th, which will be the day before Christmas, so Santa Clauses can all get out and on their way. They will be closing down at from noon to 2 o'clock p.m. So come on down to Christmas Traditions here in Main Street, St. Charles, Missouri. All righty, and sometimes, folks, we forget how good we've got it. Well, I tell you what, there are some folks out there that don't forget how good we've got it, and that's Helping Hands Thrift Shop, a foster care closet. That's right, they're located at 416 South 5th Street here in St. Charles, Missouri. They have 10% Tuesdays. That means senior citizens receive a 10% discount on Tuesdays. So for your dollar purchase, it'll only cost you 90 cents. So quite the deal, right? Thrift store and foster care closet um, is open now, and they have anything that you want. So talking about Christmas decorations and how to decorate your house, you might be lucky to find a few more items left over there because, well, hey, they get donations every day, and if somebody's got some new stuff that they've put out there, well, then it could be that way. It could be all kinds of stuff that they've been dropping in. Don't you know what I'm saying? If you have anything you would like to drop off from the inside or the outside of your house, well, they take all donations. That's right. The only thing is they don't like box spring mattresses and or box springs themselves. They take all clothing, books, TVs, shoes, whatnots, dishes, furniture, outside household items, lawn mowers, weed eaters, just whatever you have take to get whatever you have, they're willing to take it off your hands for you. Now open. That's right, they are now open. Their hours are from 8 o'clock to or some to 8 p.m. 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I can always go and I'll just run over to Christmas Traditions right now. Not only are they a wonderful store to shop in, but they're always working at giving back. Bev, Bev Evans is the owner. Her and Tim. Tim and Bev Evans are the owners and operators of the Helpful Hands Thrift Shop. And what was I going to say? Oh, I got to go. I'm supposed to be going this way to get in there. We got 2 Pokey pals today. No, just the one. All right. Then I need to go over here. Over here. Over here. There we go. Yeah, she's got a medical fundraiser going on. She's got a target price for $7,000 that they're trying to raise money for somebody. And come to find out, it was my brother. I had no clue. I had no clue that they had a fundraiser going out. I just threw it up on my Facebook page to share the message. And by golly, it just turned out that it was for my own brother. So there you go. He's looking for a power wheelchair. That's what he's in need of. I mean, if you'd rather just donate the heavy duty 600-pound plus power wheelchair, he would appreciate that, and the or make a donation to Bev's medical or help Bev's medical fundraiser. That's right. So there you go. Or you can just stop in, drop off some money there at the Helpful Hands thrift store. Okay. Located at 614 South Fifth Street here in St. Charles, Missouri. Now, I was supposed to be singing a song, and well, I got myself rooted. We're gonna go with a country and western Christmas song. Country and western Christmas song. Let's see. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow's glistening. A happy old song as we sing along, a walking in a winter wonderland. That'll work. We'll do that one. Song lyrics, Winter Wonderland. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow's glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird, to sing a love song while we stroll along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman, we'll pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man. But you can do the job when you're in town. And later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we've made, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman. We'll pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man. But you can do the job when you're in town. And later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we've made. Walking in winter wonderland. Walking in winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland. All right. All right. My love is deeper than the holler on a Christmas morning. Oh, that ain't Christmas. That ain't Christmas. Well, how about a Johnny Horton song for Christmas? Well, it isn't your average, your normal Christmas song. Hey, I'm getting a phone call. Wait just a minute. Who is it? Who is it? Oh, that ain't my phone. That's my alarm clock. I need to get over here and hit the snooze button, folks. Hold on just a second. Let me get over here and whack that old snooze button. Cut the phone off. Hey now, wait a minute. Here we go. Oh no. Can't get my feet down below. Working on it. We'll get there. Got to turn that thing off. I'm all over the place here. Got everything going on now. Well, I thought I got it. There you go. You got to hit the old headset to get the thing to hang up. So that's what I did. All right. Got the old headset going. And now the screen's all illuminated and everything. Don't know how much time I've got on the snooze, but I've got snoozed on All right, that was a present actually from Helping Hands thrift store because I advertised for them and I just advertised for them because I thought I saw their shop, and was on I saw their shop on Facebook and I thought, hey, you know what? They could use some advertising. So I advertised for them. Anybody else got any song requests out there? Okay, nobody else got no song requests. Okay, we're gonna do another one. I am gonna do another one, and I'm gonna try to find it. I think it's the Kingston Trio that done it. It's called um, "Ain't No Meat and Pudding in Store for Our Christmas Dinner." Song lyrics: "Ain't no meat or pudding in store for our Christmas dinner." Okay, there it is. Christmas Parson Brown, Our Christmas Dinner. Okay, we're gonna give it a shot. There was a man in our town. He was a man of great renown, and his name was William Brown. He was a parson. Christmas week was drawing near. Father and mother were very poor, had no pudding nor meat in store for our Christmas dinner. Well, I heard Paul telling Ma that we weren't going to have a Christmas this year because we was too poor. Well, that made me feel kind of sad. So I went out of the house just a singing, "A Merry Christmas we can't keep 'cause we got no shoes upon my feet and we had no pudding nor meat for our Christmas dinner." Well, a little while later, I walked back into the house and I heard Ma talking to Paul and, "Henry, where did you get that sheep?" "Why, isn't that the parson's big black sheep?" "Henry, you didn't, but he sure did." And well, now that things were looking up a little bit, I went out of the house singing as loud as I could. "A Merry Christmas we shall keep. Now we got some pudding and meat. Father stole the parson's sheep for our Christmas dinner. Little boy, come over here." And I was like, "What? Come over here?" And lo and behold, "Sure, Parson, be glad to." Well, Mary, little boy, would you mind singing that song for me again? "Well, sure enough, Parson, be more than happy to. Here we go. Merry Christmas we shall keep. Now we got some pudding and meat. Father stole the parson's sheep for our Christmas dinner." Well, now, I sure like the way you sing that song. Listen, if I give you a shiny new pocket watch and a half a crown, would you come down to my church next Sabbath and sing that for the whole congregation? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You be there. You be there now. You hear? So the next Sunday, with my shiny new pocket watch and my half a crown in the other hand, I walked down to the aisles at the pastor, and the pastor he says, "Now, listen here, everybody. I want you to listen to this here song. This little boy is going to sing because every word of it is the gospel truth." And I takes out my big, oh, now there's our phone call again. We just had to nip it in the bud. Can we reach it from here? Well, I got that snooze. I guess it's only a 10-minute snooze, huh? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Whoops, arm's not long enough. Well, I can't get my hand in the cradle right. Well, I'll get it here in a second, folks. Well, hey, Nathan, you're on TV and you're live. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
That was my roommate, Nathan, as he walked up to hang up my phone. Well, I guess hang up the phone. Actually, I'll put the snooze on the alarm clock again. All right, so anyway, here we go. Where was I? Oh, yes, that's right. Well, I sure like the way you sing that song. That's right. We got past that. Now you be there now, you hear? So the next Sunday, with my shiny new pocket watch in one hand and my half a crown in the other, I walk down the aisles at the parson, and as I do, the parson says, "Now listen here, everybody. I want you to listen to this song this little boy is about to sing, because every word of it is the gospel truth." And I take me a deep breath, and I begins to sing. I was walking out one day, I met the parson dressed so gay. She and Miss Molly were making hay. He stepped right up and kissed her. Whoa, wait a minute. No, that's a lie. But everybody in the congregation, they just laughed. And so I went running back down the aisles just a singing, "How I cheated Parson Brown, out of a watching half a crown. Deborah telling everyone around how he kissed Miss Molly." Gee, it sure was a swell Christmas that year. All right. That wasn't very Christian, was it? How about, I got one more. I know another one. I do. Song lyrics: Grandma got ran over by a reindeer. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there ain't no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Now she'd been drinking too much eggnog, and we begged her not to go. But she forgot her macadations, and she staggered out the door into the snow. Well, when we found her come Christmas morning at the scene of the attack, she had footprints on her forehead and incriminating claws marks on her back. Oh, Grandma got ran over by a reindeer. Walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there ain't no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Now we're all so proud of Grandpa. He's been taking this so well. See him they're watching football, drinking beer and playing cards with Cousin Mel. Now it's not Christmas without Grandma. All the family's dressed up in black, and we just can't help but wonder, should we open up her gifts or send them back? Oh, Grandma got ran over by a reindeer, walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there ain't no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Now the goose is on the table, and the pudding made up big, and the blue and silver candles that would have matched her hair on Grandma's wig. While I warned all my friends and neighbors, better watch out for yourselves. They should never give a license to a man who drives a sleigh and plays with elves. Oh, Grandma got ran over by a reindeer, walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there ain't no such thing as a reindeer, Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. I said, sing, Grandpa. Grandma got ran over by a reindeer, walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there ain't no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandma, we believe. There we go again. The old alarm clock is every 15 minutes, I guess. It surely does want me to wake up. Well, I guess I reckon I'll just have to move on over there and try to shut her down again. Here we go. I'm headed that way. I'm headed that way. Oh, thank you, Nathan. Coming back in. Oh, there goes the phone. It's going away. My lamp, my phone, my alarm clock, the whole thing. It's on the side, opposite side of the lamp. Opposite side. Yeah, there you go. There we go. The alarm is now off. Now I just got me a beautiful little lit up clock. Go to sleep. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you so much there, Nathan. All right. Hey, it looks like it's story time for the kids. So, hey, kids, it's TV Grandpa and story time. And I'm going to just ask for you to jump up on the couch or up on the bed, wherever you rest your sleepy little head. It's TV Grandpa coming to tell you your good night bedtime story. Tonight's bedtime story is called Rapunzel by the Brothers Grimm. So you never can tell about stories like this one. Anyway, here we go. The Brothers Grimm. Oh, by the way, Craig, we're probably 31 minutes into it, so you better ski-daddle, my friend. Ski-daddle. Alrighty, here we go. Rapunzel, let down your hair. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to get rid of that. Wanted to get this up. Wanted to check that out. Everything's good, looking good. Here we go. Rapunzel. Once upon a time, there lived a carpenter and his wife. More than anything, they wanted a child of their very own. Well, at long last, their wish came true. The wife was going to have a baby. Well, from the second floor window of their small house, the wife could see into her garden next door. Such fine. Oh, we just read this one the other day. We're not going to read Rapunzel again. We just read Rapunzel the other day. I thought we hadn't read Rapunzel for a while, but we have read Rapunzel for a while. So, how about the Little Mermaid? It's not one of my favorites, but I'm going to do it for my daughter. It is one of her favorites, and so we're going to do the Little Mermaid story. How's that sound? Okay, Ashley Briscoe, this one goes out for you. I'm sorry, Ashley Addington. Far out in the sea, where the waters is very deep, the Sea King ruled the undersea world. In the deepest spot of the sea was his castle, and the walls were made of blue coral. On the roof were shells that opened and closed when the water passed by. And that is where the Sea King lived with his mother and 4 daughters, each one born a year apart. Well, the youngest of the 4 princesses was the littlest mermaid, and she spent much of her time swimming to the ships that had fallen into the bottom of the sea. Well, the ships held many treasures from the world above, and she would fill her arms and set up her collection here and there. All the while she would sing as she did, a fish circled around to hear her, for the little mermaid's voice was the most beautiful under the sea. Well, the girls knew that when they turned 15, they could swim up to the surface for the first time, and it would be a long time that the little mermaid had to wait, and as she was the youngest, and so she made her grandmother tell her all about life up on land, tales about ships and towns, and every bit of stories about humans that she knew. Well, soon the eldest sister turned 15, and she was the first to be allowed to rise up to the surface. And when she came back, she had many wonders to tell her sister about. She told her about resting on a soft white sand high above was a deep blue sky with puffy white clouds. Later, the sun set, and she said, and the whole sky turned gold and red. And she had watched The birds fly high over her head, dripping and dipping and making turns in the red and gold sky. When the next sister turned 15, it was winter time, and she told of icebergs floating in the seas and shining bright. All of the ships stayed far away from the iceberg, and said as and she said as if in fear. But the icebergs did not seem lonely. They were like friends floating close to each other. And when it was the third sister's turn, she told about moving as close as she could to the gate of a town. She heard people call out, horses that went clip clop down the street, and even music that she had never heard before. Well, all of this the uh, little mermaid heard with wonder. It wasn't her. It wasn't fair that she had to wait for so long. At that last, the day came when she, turning 15 too, now she could rise up over the surface and see for herself. Well, when she came up over the water, the little mermaid was next to a large ship, and on the ship, beautiful music was playing. Sailors were dancing on the deck, and there was laughing and having a fine time. It must be a party and then, now and then, the waves lifted up the little mermaid. She could see better. A handsome young man stepped out onto the deck, and when he did, 100 rockets rose in the air. The party was for him. Was it his birthday? She swam closer. Then the men all seemed to like that young man. And when he spoke, the sailors would laugh, and sometimes they patted him on the back in joy. Once that he, that made that made his crown fall off, and the men laughed and picked it up. A crown, said the little mermaid. He must be a prince. Suddenly it became very dark, and the wind picked up, and the sailors started to run out about on the deck. They pulled down the sails, and the ship dipped. In and out it swooped and rolled side to side and up and down on the high waters. Well, the lightnings and flashed, and the thunder rolled, and the strong rainstorms hit, and the poor ship started to tip on the rough seas, and was so dark that the little mermaid could see nothing. Then the lightning lit up the sky, and she could see that the young prince on the deck, and he seemed to be the only uh, one still there. He was working hard to keep the ship afloat. He was throwing ropes out to his men who had jumped. But then, all at once, the waves got very high, and the ship started to tip over, and the prince was flung to the side of the ship and thrown overboard. Down into the sea he fell. He dropped very fast. What was the little mermaid going to do? Well, she knew that human beings cannot live underwater, and so she dove deep as fast as she could reach out and was able to grab him by the shirt. And then she swam up to the surface as fast as she could, and at last she could pull his head above the water. There the two of them floated as the waves rose and fell. And by morning the storm had passed, and yet the prince was still as he had been all night. From far off, the little mermaid saw tops of hills. Land, she said. So she swam to the shore, pulling him behind her. It was not easy to pull the young man up onto the dry land, but she did it. And was he dead? She sang a sad song. All of a sudden, the prince started to move. Oh, you are all right, she asked, and he touched his forehead. Just then, she heard a group of girls coming over. At once, she dove. dove into the sea and hid behind a rock. That they must not see her, a mermaid. The girls found the girls found the prince, who was now awake. They called for help, and soon he was led off. The prince would never know that she had saved him. The little mermaid sank into a deep gloom, and when she went back home, her sisters wanted to know all about her trip, but she was too sad to say anything. Days went by, then weeks. The sisters went to their grandmother for help. The old woman went to her granddaughter. Child, what is the matter with you? She said. Well, the little mermaid cried out, Grandmother, I will never be happy again. She told all about meeting the prince and saving him, then having to leave him behind. Unless I can somehow walk on the land and be with the young man, I will be sad for the rest of my days. Well, my dear, said the grandmother, you know as well as I do that is not possible for a mermaid to walk on two legs. Why, the only one who can do anything like that is the sea witch. But, of course, it is much too dangerous to go to her. The sea witch, before she knew it, the little mermaid had headed to the far corners of the sea where the sea witch lived. Well, this is no problem, said the sea witch when the little mermaid told her what she wanted. And I fix problems much harder than this. And why to have legs, all you need to do is to drink my potion. Then she turned to face the girl. But I don't just give it away. You understand? Oh, said the little mermaid. What then is your price? I, in her heart, she felt a lift. So there was a way she could have two legs and be with the prince after all. Oh, not too much, said the sea witch. For one, you must give up your voice. My voice, said the little mermaid. She knew her voice is what everyone loved about her the best. You don't need it, said the sea witch. Chitter chatter, what a waste of time. But know this, little pretty, if the prince married someone else, the next day you must die, and your voice will stay with me forever. But then again, who knows? He might choose you. Well, the little mermaid's heart leaped. Well, the sea witch held out a glass with the green potion. So she said, What are you going to do? Make up your mind. I don't have all day. Well, the little mermaid took the potion and drank it, and at once she felt dizzy and in pain, as if a sword was being passed through her body. She spun and jerked about, then fell. When she awoke, she was on the same dry land as when she had rescued the prince. Lifting her hand to her head, she could see that her dream had come true, and there her tall her tail had been. Where her tail had been, she had two human legs. Say, miss, are you in trouble? It was none other than the prince. She tried to say something, but no words came out of her mouth. Can you not speak? Said he. She shook her head no. Oh, well then, let me take you to the castle. You can clean up there and get some dry clothes to wear. And so to the castle they went. You can be sure the little mermaid was very happy to join the prince at the castle. And at first, walking on her two legs was shaky, but soon she got the hang of it. And that night the prince showed her around the castle rooms, and he would point out to a portrait and tell her all about that person. And when he said something funny, he laughed. They laughed together. And when the story was sad, her kind eyes told him that she knew why, and she felt sad too. And the next day was a royal party. The prince had not been not the prince had not been not looking forward to going to it. Hours of standing with finely dressed people who talk and have nothing to say. He asked the little mermaid if she might come with him. She nodded a big yes. That day, with the little mermaid by his side, the prince felt glad. Sometimes he would make a comment in a low voice to her, and by her eyes and face he knew that she understood. After that, the prince wanted the little mermaid by his side every day, and he thought he could even fall in love with her. But he still held out hope to marry the one with the lovely voice he remembered from when he had been rescued. And of course, it could not be his wonderful new friend who was not able to talk, and let alone sing. Well, where are we at here? Anybody on there? Nah, still nobody, and we're still in story time. Wow, we're really making a long day of it today, aren't we? Well, the king called for his son one day. Son, he said, your mother and I have made a decision. It is time that you took a bride. Lucky for you that we already picked one out for you. What? Said the prince. He only wanted to marry the woman with the beautiful voice that he remembered. Who is she? The princess from a nearby land. Tonight she is coming with her parents. We will make the wedding plans. Well, the prince was crushed, and the little mermaid felt fear. She knew what would happen to her and the day after the prince married someone else. Well, that night her troubles got even worse. What the little mermaid did not know was that the sea witch had put her voice into this princess, and she was a stuck up princess who thought only of herself. And yet, when she spoke, it was the little mermaid's voice that came out. And the princess was stunned. He asked the prince to sing. The prince was stunned, and he asked the princess to sing. It was the little mermaid's voice that filled the room, and the prince could not believe his luck. At last, he could marry the woman he had longed for all this time. And when he shared his joy with the little mermaid, she tried to show that she was happy for him, but gloom filled her heart. The next morning at dawn, the little mermaid went to the sea. Her sisters, worried since they had not heard from her, rose above the waters to see how she was. Their younger sister let them know the trouble that she was in. The prince's wedding was going to take place the very next day, and the day after that she must die. The sisters said not to worry, so that they had an idea. They told her to come back to the shore later that night. Then they dove back into the sea. That night, the little mermaid came back to the seashore as she was told to do. The three sisters rose up again. Gone was their beautiful long hair, for they had cut it off to give to the sea witch in exchange for a knife. And when the knife, with that knife, the little mermaid must kill the princess that very night. Then the wedding could not take place, and she could return to the sea and be with her family. She shook the knife for her. She took the knife, for she knew how much they had done for her in love. But in her heart she knew she was not going to kill the princess. Well, the wedding day had arrived. The little mermaid stepped up to the wedding ship and with the other guests. The wedding would take place at sunset. Well, in the meantime, the three sisters had returned home. They were met with an angry father. "Where is your sister?" the Sea King shouted. "Where have you all been?" Well, then they told their father the trouble their youngest sister was in. The father swam up to the wedding ship. He saw the prince and the princess getting ready to marry. He knew that his daughter did not use the knife the night before. At once the Sea King rushed to the sea witch, and she laughed. She said there was only one way to save his youngest daughter from her fate. If he would just hand over his scepter to her, the little mermaid could be saved with the scepter in her hand. So the sea witch would be rule with the scepter in her hand. The sea witch would be the ruler of the underworld kingdom. Well, the Sea King took a deep breath. What else could he do? And so he agreed. Go to sleep. Wow. Okay, we're still going. We're going to finish it up, kids. We're going to finish it up. So at once the Sea King rushed to the sea witch. Anyway. And so he agreed. Well, the sea witch grabbed the scepter and laughed in glee. She rushed to the wedding ship to see her victory, and the little mermaid saw the sea witch rise out of the sea. She that saw that with the scepter, the sea witch had become a huge sea monster. Tentacles were twisting all about from all over her body like an octopus. The little mermaid knew that she must protect the prince and even his new bride, so she took out the knife. Just then, one of the sea witch's tentacles reached out and lifted the little mermaid right off the ship. "Then this is the end for you," crowned the sea witch, crooned the sea witch. And before the little mermaid knew it, she was wrapped up by the tentacles, and she was spun to the very chest of the sea witch, and the knife she was holding, the very sea witch's very own knife. She used it and drove it deep into the chest of the monster. Well, the sea witch reeled back in pain, and the little mermaid was free. On the ship, the guests ran out in fear. The prince shot arrow after arrow at the monster. Finally, the sea witch dropped down under the water, and as she fell, the little mermaid's voice was let go, and it returned to her. The princess then shouted in a gruff, harsh voice, "What a lousy kingdom this is! You can't even have a proper wedding." Well, the princess heard the prince's the prince heard the princess and now knew that she was not who he thought she was. Then the little mermaid started to sing. The prince knew that voice, and he belonged to the very one he had grown to love. Well, the angry princess stormed off the wedding ship, and her family followed close behind. And when the Sea King arrived, the scepter was floating in the sea, as if it were waiting for him. With a sweep of his arm, it was his again. "Well," said the Sea King, "I see my daughter is in good hands." And with a wave of his scepter, he lifted the little mermaid back onto the ship. Then the prince put his arms around her. "Now I know it was you all along," said the prince. "Will you marry me?" Well, the little mermaid had her voice back now, but with all the happiness in her heart, she could not manage to speak. So she nodded yes. and with a warm smile, and a wedding on board the ship took place right there after all. And they lived happily ever after. Phew. Okay. Good night, kids. All right. It looks like it's time for the Daily Bread portion of the program. And the Daily Bread portion of the program is brought to you today by the Bible with Briscoe 2021. The Bible with Briscoe 2021 is a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Don't forget to tune into the Bible with Briscoe 2021 for your daily reading of the Bible. All right, let's see. Today's devotion in the Daily Bread portion of the program is called, oh, wait a minute. Today's reading in the Bible with Briscoe 2021 is Amos 4 through 6 and Revelation 7. Don't forget to tune into the Bible with Briscoe 2021 for your daily reading of the Bible. All right, there we go. Today's devotion in the Daily Bread portion of the program. What are you? What are you? Well, that's a good question. I are a Christian. Now, that's not what we're going to do now. Is going to be reading Galatians 3:26 through 4:7, which is long. 3:26 through 4:7. Galatians. Ready? So, in Christ Jesus, you are children. You are all children of God through faith. For all of you who were baptized into Christ have clothed yourself with Christ. There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male or female, and for all you all are one in Christ Jesus. If you belong to Christ, then you are Abraham's seed and the heirs according to the promises. What I am saying is that as long as an heir is underage, he is no different from a slave, although he owns the whole estate. The heir is subject to the guardians and trustees until the time set by his father. So also when we were underage, we were in slavery under the elemental spiritual forces of the world. But when the set time had fully come, God sent his son, born of a woman, born under the law, to redeem those who under the law, that we might receive adoption to the sonship. Now, because you and his son, God sent the spirit of his son out to our hearts, the spirit who is called Abba, Father. And so you are no longer a slave, but God's children. And since you are his children, God has made you also an heir. And so there you have it. That was Galatians 3:26 through 4:7. Okay, that's the Daily Bread portion of the program that was brought to you today by the Bible with Briscoe 2021. Don't forget to tune into the Bible with Briscoe 2021 for your daily reading of the Bible. Alrighty, my friends. Hey, that looks like I made it for a whole hour. That's right. First time an hour came through to pass. Well, we're going to like that Lisa Foster call in, and we're going to make a shout out to her for thanking her for her song requests. I hope I done her proud. Alrighty, my friends. Hey, I got one more song for you, though, and it goes like this. Hello, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I said goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. This here has been Shenandoah Briscoe saying hello and how are you? Thanks for tuning in to the Shen Show. And as always, God loves you and so do I. So come back and see me tomorrow because, well, God willing, I'll be here and I hope that you are too. Hey, it ain't gonna let me.